we, as an industry, talk a lot about, the benefits certainly of great design, and I think what we're trying to do here at Perkins Eastman with the research is to really draw the connection between, what is good design and how does it impact, the educational outcomes that are the mission of our clients. So it's very easy to talk in sort of anecdotes and draw your own conclusions, but we're trying to be much more rigorous in terms of making those connections. So as I was talking before, we started this sort of pre-occupancy and post-occupancy evaluation process, which is both qualitative and quantitative, to allow us to start to evaluate the performance of our environments, and then with our clients make the connection to educational outcomes, and through the study of multiple buildings start to be able to differentiate that. Can we understand why this one building is performing better with respect to educational outcomes in a new design versus this other building? Of course, there are a lot of variables, but that's the goal, is to be able to suggest that these buildings are expensive for our clients, and sometimes you have to make hard decisions as you go through the design process as to what to value in the design, or what to value engineer out of the design. And so what we're hoping to be able to say, as we go through this research endeavor, is to say that, look, we know these things have demonstrable impacts on education, and therefore we should retain them in the project, regardless, if we can, certainly. So, the building orientation, is the, one of the simple ones, and it's to some extent free. It really doesn't have a cost to orient the building right, but in many ways it has a payback that is almost immediate in reducing mechanical systems and other things that maybe actually are positive for the budget of the project. But it's to be able to convince people, I think, that that design truly has demonstrable impact, and to use that to make better buildings is sort of the holy grail, and that's why we're spending so much of our time and effort bringing in other experts building these processes to pursue this idea beyond the sort of the simple anecdote at this point. So I think I think the industry's headed this way as well, and we've seen very powerful studies coming out of Chan School of Public Health, for example, at Harvard, focusing on cognition and CO2, for example, which is a really powerful study, and has been very influential on our thinking. But there are other studies that they're doing as well relative to school siting and green space, and contaminants in sort of the external environment, as a result of being closer or further away from green space, or closer to automotive arterials and the like. So again, those kinds of inputs, I think are invaluable, and those insights, for us as designers, and that's what we're after. Is how do we make the best decisions, on processes where we're helping people spend a lot of money in some ways, and in a short period of time, and then, but have a product that will last for 60 years and influence thousands of children's lives as they move through that single facility.